Going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Another dreary day up here in the Northeast. It's about 45 out and friggin' windy. Feels like it's 25. Sucks. Sucks. But supposedly, according to the weatherman, this pattern is supposed to break up. And we're supposed to go into a better weather pattern in the next week. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Christ. So, with that being said, you see the sign. Everybody's heard, or most of you guys have heard, about Dan having a heart attack Sunday night. He got lucky and caught it in time. Got to the hospital. Some guys ignore that shit and end up dying. You gotta take care of yourselves, man. You gotta take care of yourselves as you get older. Especially the smoking. I wasn't aware that Dan smoked, but I guess he does. I'll be truthful with you, Dan. It ain't gonna be easy, buddy. I wasn't a heavy smoker, but I smoked. But after coming down with the lung issues, I haven't had a cigarette since 2006. So that's 13 years I've been without a cigarette. And to be honest with you, I don't have any more yearnings. I think they stink. When somebody sits down next to me, where the place that we go to, and it just stinks. But they're no good for you, buddy. They're coffin nails. And, I'm not a preacher. I don't want to preach to you, but I will say this to you. And that's all I'll say about it. You want to see that grandson of yours graduate. Then you need to quit. So, that being said, get well soon, you bastard. So, I got the rolling painted. Nope, wrong way again. I always go the wrong way. I got it all painted. I did it by hand. And the reason I did it by hand, I did a little research because I was curious as to how these were painted back in the day. And painting with a compressor came into use in the mid-1880s, but it was strictly used for whitewashing. So they didn't really use it on vehicles or anything like that. And then when the cars started to be built, the Model Ts and everything, and we all know that they were black. And the reason they were black, I found out, was because the process they used was like powder coating today. But back then it was baked enamel. They would bake the enamel onto the car. And the reason there were so many black ones is because black dried the fastest. And when the point of your, what's the term I'm looking for? The assembly line, when the point of the assembly line was to turn out as many as you couldn't wait for the paint to dry. So that's why a lot of them were painted black. But it was all baked on and stuff. And if it wasn't baked on, then it was put on with a brush, a roller, something like that. So that's why I paint my airbrushing that I looked at for vehicles and all that stuff didn't come around until after the 1920s. So anytime after 1920s, that's when they started to use air guns and compressors for painting cars and stuff like that. So, I figured if they didn't paint them by airbrush back then, why should I do that now? That's why I paint mine by brush. That's why I do that. So, there's the Roland. I've still got a long way to, well, not a long way. Still got some work to do to it. That's for sure. But here she is. Just got done painting her this morning. I had a couple of coats to put on this dark green here on the bottom wing. But there she is. The windows are still taped. I have to, here's the bottom. I still got a little touch up to do on this little piece here sticking off the landing gear. That's supposed to be brown. I got to paint that this brown color. I got to put the guns in. I got to put the exhaust on, the wheels, string it, and decal it. I got all my holes drilled for the wire. I've already tried out a few, and it seems like it's going to work okay. I'm liking this idea with this guitar wire. And I appreciate all you guys that gave me the answers to my question about which gauge to get. I much appreciated. I know what I can get. I looked it up on Amazon. I think I can get 20 of them for $8. So, this works. I will be doing it. Like I said, yeah, the guns, the exhaust, this little piece here, I'm not positive, but I think this was a rear view mirror. Because they tell you to paint the face of this chrome silver. So, that's what I think it is. This sits over the gun like this, facing the pilot. So, that's the only thing I can figure, because, they don't tell you what it is. And I didn't really look it up, to be honest with you. So, that's what I'm guessing. But, yeah, I'm getting ready to put I got to put a coat of gloss on it, or semi-gloss, so I can decal it. And then string it. I got everything else, all the exhaust on the propeller and all that stuff. Stuff's all done. You guys have seen that. You know that's all made and done and ready to go. So, we'll be doing that. And then on Jeff's build, I'm going to be wiring my springs. Like I think I showed you guys what I do with the springs. Drill a hole and I wrap the wire around the spring, and it kind of looks like a real spring. So I'll show you those when they're done. I already got my hole drilled, painted black. Always paint it black first, and I'm going to wrap some gold wire around it. So we got that there, and then we got the motor. I got my motor getting ready to go. The fan's not glued on yet. I still got to put the, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Placement of the generator, alternator, whatever it is. Where they tell you to put it in the directions and where it really goes on the motor, it's two completely different things. They're trying to tell me to put it, I don't know if we can see it here, guys. There's a high spot right there that they tell me that one of the arms on the thing goes there, and the other one slips in behind it, and there's no way. Because if you put that where they tell you, that generator sticks out past the fan. So, I mean, how can it do that? So I had to relocate it and put it underneath, kind of like underneath the water pump, and then in between. So, but it does not go where it says to put it on the in the directions. And then the other good thing is there's little nubs in here they got for spark plugs. They're just long enough to fit a little boot on, except for the two in the middle on this side were gone. So I drilled a hole and shoved a little couple of pieces of small brass wire in there to put the boot on. So, but that's where we are. I'm running out of time. So, Dan, get better, buddy. Do what they tell you. Give up those goddamn copper nails. They're no friggin' good for you. They're no friggin' good for you. Trust me. So, All right, boys, enjoy your day. You know what I say. Peace out.